a double pen slave cabin, meaning it has two rooms inside that are split down the middle. So two enslaved families would have stayed in here. A family size depended on how long that family had been on the plantation, so you could have up to 10 or more people in each room. The first owner of Kent House, Mr. Bayou, had 82 slaves by the time he passed in 1824, and the second owner, Mr. Henson, had 122 slaves by 1860. We'll come inside here. Now, the slave cabins were built by the enslaved that were on the plantation. This one, as you can see, actually has a chimney here in the middle that splits into two fireplaces. This is known as a saddlebag fireplace. And what's interesting, you'll notice it has a neat open hearth kitchen. The enslaved in Louisiana were actually allowed to cook their own meals, which is quite unique. Most southern states did not allow their enslaved to cook their meals. All their meals had to come from the main kitchen. However, in Louisiana, all the enslaved actually cooked their breakfast and their supper, sometimes their lunch, but most of the time the lunch was provided to them from the main kitchen and then brought out into the fields. But because the enslaved were allowed to cook their own meals, this is where we get a lot of our popular dishes here in Louisiana, like gumbo, jambalaya, and red beans and rice. You'll also notice here in the slave cabin, it's very sparse. The enslaved were not allowed to have furniture. They were typically not allowed to have windows. It was normally just a hole in the wall, and sometimes they weren't even allowed to have doors. And then also you'll notice there are no ceilings either. They were not allowed to have these things because the plantation owners felt that they could hide weapons in these areas. And we have a photograph over here of the last person that lived inside this slave cabin, which came from Augusta Plantation. Her name was Maggie Jackson. She helped her parents build this cabin in the 1830s, and she continued to stay in this cabin upon her death in the 1940s at the age of 114 years old.